My passion of higher education really comes from working with one particular person. I went to university and college of just thinking I'm going to go in, get a degree, and come out. And I really came out of there with so much more than that. I remember taking a class. It was an honor seminar. At orientation, it was lauded as this really incredible class. Students had incredible testimonials about it, and it was mentioned by the director of orientation that it was this incredible thing. It was 7:30 in the morning in the summer. I just never wake up that early in the summer in my high school. I wake up, there's one spot left, and I take it. I go in, and for the class, my first class of my college experience, I'm sitting in this dusty hall, Taliaferro Hall. And I remember hearing this really rhythmic clacking, like and it was a cane. And this is a sound that I really came to love. And in walked in this stout, short, British Lebanese fellow with an incredible suit, and he always had an incredible tie on and this really full mustache. And he's this 83-year-old man, Professor Bashiri, who became my mentor. And he taught a lot of incredible things that were totally unrelated to my area of work, which was business. He taught about interreligious understanding, peace, conflict management, about literature and poetry and English as well. He taught me so much in that class, but the funny thing was a month into our experience, he emails me saying my assistant has quit, my secretary's gone, and because he can't really type, he is really just totally technologically incapable. And calls me and says, do you want to work with me for a couple months as my assistant? And I remember my hand shaking coming out of that meeting thinking, yes, of course I would do it. And I worked with him throughout the next 4 years of my college experience, organizing conferences for him, reading Arabic poetry with him, and talking about W.B. Yeats, and taking out to the grocery store when he needs to get some dinner for him and his wife. Really, really, really incredible. I remember working with him at my computer, and one of the janitorial custodians come in. Professor Bashiri stands up to greet him, and they talk for a couple minutes, and I'm just click-clacking away at my keyboard. And when the janitor walks away, he looks straight at me and says, why didn't you stand up too? Why didn't you greet him? You know, we would stand up if it was the president of the university. You have to do and show respect for the ones who aren't getting it most of the time. And there's a lot of funny stories like that came up. And another really, really good one that really is part of the reason why I work at EAB is he always called me by Mr. Lee. He would turn around and say, Mr. Lee, business is bad. You should be doing more interesting things with your life. But if you're going to do business, please change the world with it. One phrase that kind of comes to mind is always people above process, or even sometimes people above results. At the core of what we do is, we're a business, but really, really at the core of what we do, I believe, is that we're making a difference in the lives of our members and the lives of students. And no matter what we do, it doesn't matter whether we're trying to improve our Salesforce system or trying to make our implementation process smoother. At the end of the day, we have to think about how are we developing people? How are we developing students? How are we making their lives better? He passed away a couple years ago, and we went to his memorial, and there were just so many people there. If a CEO of a company passed away, probably his family would mourn, but he had hundreds of people come from all over the world, his students, his colleagues, and everyone was there. Students were crying, parents were crying, the president and the chancellor of the university system were crying. Just everybody was just so sad, and you can just tell in their voice that he has such a powerful impact in their lives as he had for me. And although he was an academic professor, he just taught a lot more than that. He taught about morality, about values, about what it means to be a good human being, giving back to the world. And that to me was really the education that he taught me. And the reason I'm so passionate about higher education is that university was his stage. It was his place to be who he was, and it's the place where I became who I am through my academic experience, but also with experiences with wonderful academic professors and mentors like him.